Hi guys, welcome to OG Cars, and today we are looking at the Skoda Favorit forum. And what we've done is just check that it turns over by hand, which it does. We've got a distributor cap, rotor arm, HT leads and spark plugs on from Kelly, because we don't have new ones for this one yet. Well, actually we do, but I left them at my house, so we robbed them off Kelly just to try and start it. So now that we know we've got some oil, we're going to pour some petrol down the carb and we're going to see if she'll go. Apologies also for the road noise. We're just by the road, if believe it or not. We've connected up the battery and nothing's blown up yet, so that's always good. Bear in mind this car hasn't started since what, 2001, so maybe it'll go, maybe it won't.
Come on.
So it starts. You need full throttle to start it, and then it'll stay on. If you're on about half throttle, you know, keep it about 2,000 or 3,000 revs, it stays on fine. When you let go and let it idle, it doesn't really want to sit there yet. But in fairness, we've still got old fuel running in the tank, so obviously that still needs cleaning out. It still needs a good proper service, new oil, proper, you know, brand new spark plugs, brand new leads and cap and rotor arm and all of this. So by the time we've done all of that, I'm hoping that this will be a really nice runner. What we did notice is that there's a water leak. You may see it trickling past me now, and to be fair, I'm not surprised, given you can see the amount of corrosion just everywhere. And I mean, look at the build up of that sort of white corrosion you get on engines when it's been left for a while. So it's got a big build up of that. It needs obviously a full service, and to be fair, I'm half tempted, because it looks like that on the outside. I'm half thinking, I remember back to Chips, the Skoda Favorit, the white one, the head gasket had been deteriorated by all the water sitting in there for so long, and it had all sort of disintegrated and fallen apart because it's got wet liners. So this engine basically has liners in a empty block, so to speak. It was all new to me when I was working on the Favorit before, but essentially the head gasket is always being touched by a lot of water, the way the design of the engine is. So it's going to be deteriorated after 20 years in a barn with obviously a full tank of coolant, which, well, probably water, because it is empty now, and to be fair, some of it is on the floor. So it's going to need going right through, change all of the hoses, change the gaskets. We're going to have to change the inlet manifold gaskets and stuff as well, because it may be leaking from there. It looks like it's in between the exhaust heat shield and the inlet somewhere, so I imagine there is an opening somewhere in a gasket or a hose joint. I mean, this hose joint is absolutely terrible. From the servo to the inlet, you can see, look at the amount of rust that just falls off from there. So clearly stuff like that needs sorting, but it's a good start of it. It'll work, so at least we can look at what we need to get to get it running properly now. I mean, it has spent 20 years in a barn, so I'm not gonna diss it too much. It's done quite well, and actually we did go to where the other two favourites are and try to start those, and neither of those actually started, and they've started much more recently than this carved car has. So we'll add a couple of clips at the end for you to see the failed attempts of that one, but ultimately they didn't go, and we're going to have to revisit those as well. So we'll see, but stay tuned, and you'll see more on the favourite soon. That was funny.
Yeah.
So we've tried a bit of fuel down the injection unit there, and it tries to catch on. It really tries, and then it runs out of fuel and it doesn't have anything to keep going. So we've not got to a point where it's running, but we are getting to a point where it's trying to fire. So I think we're going to need to possibly look at those lines, make sure that we can pull the fuel through, and then hopefully that will help it carry on. And with, you know, it's not had any service parts for a good few years, so it's probably going to need plugs, leads, rotor arm, cap, a couple of other bits. So I think we're going to have to look at those bits first before we can get this one running. But in fairness, the CD over there will need the same parts, so we can try those parts on this first, see if it works. If it does, great. If not, we'll just swap the parts over there. But now it's the CD's turn to try and start. We tried to start the CD edition.
Do you mind? Bloody Fiesta pop and bang maps, I swear.
So unfortunately the CD edition did not want to go. When I say that, it didn't even turn over because we don't have the switched 12 volt from the ignition switch to the starter. Obviously we did have it going before turning over in West Wales, but we had it direct from the battery, so we're going to obviously want to sort that out properly. So the plan is sort out the switched 12 volts properly and then see if we can get it running after that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And actually run properly, but obviously it's on my head again.